Story till now. The players awake to find Fox Bravo Team and Zero missing. On the back of the silver rosary, an engraving reveals a name. Henry's friend, Amber, shares a handout from the First Light. Jeff's network goes down. A glasswalker stopped an attack and now wishes to work with him. A list of Sabbat is exposed to the group, Calvin being a good first target. Following up on the shipment that was stolen, part of the group sits in on a Toreador meeting. And so, the story continues.
We are starting on a fresh night. Our players have gotten a lot of information very quickly in a span of a 2-day period and are now waking up on a fresh evening to the sound of various members of the human bodyguards or guards moving about the facility. What would everyone like to do?
Definitely gonna get up and eat.
Okay. Are you going to get the bag blood from the break area, or are you...
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Emma is going to get a blood bag as well and sit grumpily because she's still salty about the incident.
Well, I'm gonna make my way in to grab some din din as well, but as I walk past Emma, gonna put my hand on her head and kind of shuffle her hair a little bit and be like, "Aw, you okay there, Emma?"
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, you don't look okay.
Everything's fine.
Your phone dings, Emma, with an apology message from the school denoting that the class that you were supposed to attend yesterday had indeed gotten canceled due to a seminar that was being held, and to ensure that all of the staff was able to attend if they wished, they had canceled the class and moved it to tomorrow.
Well, that would be today or tomorrow, as in like the next time I wake up.
Next time you wake up.
Okay. I'm going to take a note of the text and write it in my little notebook that I carry with me.
I think I'm probably heading back to that laptop,
Okay.
seeing if, and just searching through it, seeing if anything else sticks out to me.
When Duncan wakes up, I'm gonna take a picture of Tawana and send it to Mr. Silver and ask him if he can arrange a meeting.
Okay. I'm assuming you take a photo with your phone of the picture that is on Jeff's laptop.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeff, do you have that picture pulled up?
Not immediately, but I'm sure I can pull it up for him if he asks.
Yeah.
Each other.
Yeah. So, Jeff, could you pull up that other detective that was working with Blackburn?
Yeah, just give me a second. It should be right around here. There you go.
I'll take out my phone and kind of size it where it's just her framed, and then take a picture and thanks, and then kind kind of wander off unless someone asks me what I'm doing.
All right. You takes you a little bit for that image to load because networks and everything, but it does get sent off. So everybody has kind of waken up. Some time passes, and Duncan, your phone does ping with a response.
All right, look it over.
It is from Mr. Silver, and he is inclined to set something up, but it might take a couple of days. And then there is a like the equivalent of a oops or a thought, like 3 little dots, and there's, I guess that would be night for you. I'll give you information of when and where once I have it.
I'll just respond back with understood.
Okay. What other lines of thoughts do you guys have at the moment?
The fake shipment, was that planned to go soon, or was that a still waiting on situation?
You haven't been contacted by Hiroto yet on what has been decided and who's going to talk to who, because that was just discussed the night before.
Okay.
Like, for you guys as players, a lot of time has passed since we've been able to play, but as characters, it is literally the next night.
Yeah, that's why I wanted clarification on it, because I couldn't remember how long it had been in game. All right. Yeah, I got nothing.
Emma is going to pull out her phone and send a text to Haruto, asking when they had scheduled their outing, and then a little emoji, sad face of my brain is very forgetful.
Okay, so as a storyteller, are you referencing to him asking you to the movies?
Yes.
Okay. Not much time passes, a couple minutes maybe, and you get a response, all in lowercase, all run-on sentences. I wasn't sure when. I am inclined to go based off of your schedule. When are you free?
I'm free right now, but tomorrow I am busy, and then I don't plan that far in advance.
Couple minutes pass, the response again, all run-on sentences, all lowercase. Okay. Then can you look up what movies are available and which one you would like to go see? It is really,
Okay.
really obvious he is not technically inclined.
Yes. I guess I'll do that.
All right.
I will go to the internet and boop, 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 boop.
Apparently, Emma's not technically inclined either, because she's going to go to the internets.
I'm going to the internets. Listen, I can work a phone, but, like, it's not a plan, okay? What do you want from me?
I mean, it's really obvious that you can, find local theaters and what they have listed and, message him which one and what time.
Is there a movie about plants, or that has to strongly do with plants? Better yet, a local documentary about plants.
I would safely say no.
Is there a theater doing
Chucks.
a repeat running of Paul Blart Mall Cop?
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
As far as I am aware, no. I don't think any place is going to be playing that. It is the beginning of fall, so we're looking at like around like September time ish. So you haven't quite hit the spooky season.
I hear someone typing rapidly in the other room. I'm assuming looking up movie release dates.
Okay. Does anyone else have a line of inquiry at the present?
I got nothing.
Not gonna reach out to your glasswalker or check on your escape room that you've not been to for like 2 days?
Not just yet. The escape room will be fine, and I know what happened with the network, so it's somewhat safe for now.
Yeah, it's not even functioning at the current. What are we rolling on? Hold on here. What is going on? Don't forget, you guys can also further inspect the name that you found on the cross. Alistair, you still have the tire prints photograph on your phone from the accident?
Yeah, I believe I gave them to whoever was at HQ to run those.
So you can try to follow up on that. You also have the thread of Calvin as well. So you guys still have a couple avenues that you can explore. In case you guys think that I am leading the group a little bit, I am to a certain degree, only because I am trying to refresh their memories. I like watching my players struggle, but not that much.
Especially us. If you didn't remind us, oh boy, we would be like going out and starting a business or something.
I mean, you guys can take notes. You're big boys and girls.
I do, but the problem is my notes when I write them, I'm like, all right, that's enough information for me. And then I go to read them and you give the recap and I'm like, wait, why don't I have that?
Of course.
We're terrible note takers. Terrible students.
I can listen or I can write. Doing both leads to problems.
You could do like Gur does and take the time in between to review the VOD from the YouTube channel and take notes then.
I could do that. That is correct.
I only have 3 notes. I have Richard Blackbird, Tawana, and then Calvin.
Just names.
Same.
Well, on a different note, Emma has picked a movie.
Okay.
It's called Dark Harvest.
Okay.
Darcy.
He thinks it's about plants.
Oh boy.
Yay.
All right. So, do you let Haruto know which movie, place, and if you need a lift, or are you gonna ask someone else to drive you?
Oh no. I will text him Dark Harvest and then whatever time that is soonest. And then afterwards just need a ride. Okay, thanks.
Okay. So he messages you back. Interesting movie selection. I don't mind picking you up, but where would I go?
When Emma gets that, she takes a moment, goes, huh, right. and then looks around to see who's closest to her. And that would be...
Depending on if Sir is pacing again, it could be Sir. Jeff is literally a stone's throw from you at his little makeshift workstation. I'm not really sure where Duncan is at the current, other than maybe he's just like sitting in a chair with his thumb up his nose. And I'm not sure where Henry is either.
Henry is chilling in the thing. The Haven, that's what it's called.
The big comfy chair?
Yeah.
So he's in stone's throw of you as well.
The room itself isn't entirely too big, so we're all kind of in one room, just different parts of it.
But the way I envision it, like it's a big open from floor to literally the roof of the building, warehouse type of situation, and that little command station is in between two support pillars, kind of like out in the open as well. If that is not how you envision it, then please tell me how you envision how your team set it up.
That's about how it is. You just have the divider for the sleeping area because it needs to be dark, and whatever the bathroom is on the other side.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna look up, go, can I let Haruto know where we are, or can I get a ride to my apartment, please?
We can set you up a ride. I'd prefer not to let Haruto in just yet.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yes, if we could do that, that'd be great, thank you. And then I will text Haruto that I will be back at my apartment shortly, and I will let him know when I'm there.
Okay. About that time, you get a ping on your phone, Duncan. It is Liz letting you know that she is back in town. And then subsequently, everyone else's phone starts to ting, those that Liz actually has the number of.
Take a look at my phone. Huh. Okay.
When Emma gets the message, she'll kind of mumble to herself, "Huh, I wonder if Liz likes movies."
Oh, you can always message her. I mean, it's not like you can't.
It was more of just like a passing thought that she had.
Ah.
Yeah, she's not going to ask someone to do something with her. Come on.
Meanwhile, she's also staring at Sir because she doesn't know how to start the conversation about getting a car.
Well, I'd assume that at that point walk up and go talk to one of my team members. Have them get pulled right around.
Yeah, the Kindred group has already arrived, and you're basically kind of at the point where the humans are about to leave, and they're okay with taking her home before heading to the base themselves. The Kindred took a little bit longer to get there this time because they took a kind of a longer route on purpose due to the recent events.
Yeah, maybe don't get themselves blown up and attacked again.
So with that, Emma's gonna stand up, look at the group. Alright, I'll see you later if you need me. Text me, I'll respond when I can. Bye! And walk out the door.
Alright, so you get wedged between two of the human guards in the back seat again, as they take you home. 20-30 minutes pass and you arrive at your apartment building. They let you out and the one that lets you out escorts you to your door and then leaves. Uneventful.
Yep. I'll text Haruto. I'm here. Ready to go. See a movie about plants.
Some time passes and you hear a knock on your apartment door.
I'll yank the door open. Hello!
It's you. Waiting
That's good,
patiently.
because she didn't check.
Waiting patiently at the door, just kind of like, do.
All right.
You ready, Miss Emma?
I am. Let's go watch this fun movie.
And he kind of waves you past him so that you go into the elevator first.
I'm gonna awkwardly kind of go past him, making sure that, like, I don't even know how to explain this. Like, her body is just, like, making sure not to, like, touch him, you know, scoot around into the elevator.
You're making it even more apparent that you're like, ugh. All right. So he gets into the elevator, selects the bottom floor button, and politely, puts both of his hands in front of him, kind of clasped together, and just kind of looks up and watches the floor lights change, and seems very stiff and formal.
Emma doesn't really notice that.
Okay.
She's just also going to watch the lights, but, just nothing really in her head at the moment.
All right. Get to the bottom floor. He kind of puts his hand out to hold the doors back and waves for you to go ahead of him.
Oh, thanks. And she'll, go out the elevator and outside.
And he follows. Leads you over to his little Kia Sportage and opens the door for you as he has done in the past. Shuts the door once you're in and goes to the driver's side. Also gets in. Classical music plays on the radio as the vehicle gets turned on. Drives like an old man. Of course, gets the movie theater and lets you out. And kind of like directs you to walk in front of him type of situation towards the theater.
Gonna walk towards the theater and up to the counter and be like, 2 tickets for... Damn, I already forgot the movie name. Great Harvest?
The Dark Harvest.
Dark Harvest, Great Harvest. You know what? Yup. She says, I will take 2 tickets to the harvest.
The young person behind the ticket booth just kind of looks up and looks at you, looks at Haruto. You mean the Dark Harvest?
Yeah, the harvest movie with the plants.
What is your apparent age for Emma?
Young 20s.
Okay. And he just kind of nods, prints out the tickets, tells you the total. Haruto kind of steps around you and puts money into the little port window for it to the individual to pay for it, and grabs the tickets and hands you yours.
Oh, thanks. I could have paid for my own ticket, though. No need for you to pay for both of us.
It's just easier. I already had the money, and would have taken us much longer to get situated if we both had to dig out our money. It's more of an efficiency thing.
Oh, okay. Do you eat snacks?
I do not.
Well, can't even repay that way. Okay.
And he goes over to the doors and motions you through.
Thank you.
Y'all get to the theater in which you're supposed to be viewing the movie, and as you both enter in, it is already kind of like dim, but not like ready to show the movie, kind of dark. So you can still kind of see people and where they're positioned in a theater. Where do you aim to sit down at?
Can I, like, do I see empty seats in near the middle? Or is
Yeah.
it like packed?
Like most of them are either way in the back or way in the front. As far
Middle.
as like where humans are sitting.
Middle.
Okay.
Middle.
All right. He lets you kind of select where you want to sit, and he sits down in the seat kind of next to you, and just kind of like clasps his hands in his lap. Just kind of looks around the theater, looks at the people kind of nearby. I have not been to a theater in a very long time. This is very different. Last time I went to one, I believe they had gas lamps to light it up, and then you'd have like little ushers come out and they would like turn them off so that you could view the movie. This will be interesting. When was the last time you've seen one, or have you?
Emma's just going to lean over while still having her face the front and go, oh, well, then you're in for a treat. I used to go to movies quite a bit, although it was a local theater and there were some documentaries, but yeah, it sure has changed since those times.
Yeah, this should be interesting. I'm a little concerned about the volume. I see very large speakers.
Oh, it's going to be loud. It's so much fun.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
As long as you don't like eardrums, that is. Did you like your eardrums?
Yes. I'm kind of fond of most of my anatomy. But I do know there is a lot of young members of our group that are into photography and cinematograph. It's where they use the cameras to create movies.
Yeah.
So there's some changes within our own clan that involve this kind of stuff. So it's nice to sit and kind of learn a little bit about it so I can help guide our younger members.
Yeah, exactly. Look at you, thinking about the positives here.
No, it is awkward, but I will try.
Good. You must be a good role model for the younger generation. That's good.
He just kind of makes this very like face, and the lights start to dim in the theater, and obviously like advertisements for upcoming movies and the snack bar inside the lobby and all that start playing. So you are locked in for about almost 2 hours in this theater. So I will shift at this point over to the other players and see what they want to do. What are you guys getting into now? About an hour has passed. Are you all still idle at the Haven?
Yeah, I'd assume we're just kind of waiting for someone to get back to Duncan about Detective Tawana.
Henry wants to send a text over to Amber, basically apologizing for being so guarded at dinner the other night, and say that they need to meet up again in the next couple days to discuss some things, but preferably somewhere more private.
Henry You said your friend knew someone by the name of Adam last time you spoke.
Yeah, guy's a real dickbag.
Would she happen to know his last name so we might be able to go pay him a visit?
I don't know. I mean, I can probably ask her. I don't know if she knows. She said she didn't know him real well, but I can certainly see.
See if she knows the last name or possibly where he works. We might be able to go pay him a visit at his job.
Oh yeah, I can get that no problem because she said she ran into him at work. So let me send one of those texty thingies to her and we'll see what we can do. So Henry is going to fat finger another text over to her, likely with many spelling errors, asking by chance if she remembers Adam's last name, if that was ever said. And then he's gonna add in just what hospital? Gizmo's being shit. What hospital did you say you saw him at again?
Couple minutes pass. You're assuming she's either studying or eating or whatever, with it being kind of late in the evening. She messages back, "Ooh, want to see me in private, huh?" And the little winky emoji. I kid. Yeah, no problem about being guarded. I get it. Like, I was definitely rapid fire questioning you. Where would you like to meet? And yeah, I actually learned his last name because it was on his name tag. His last name is McRippy.
And after getting that, I'm gonna look back at Duncan and be like, McRippy. That's a stupid name. What an ass. So, Adam McRippy.
Interesting.
And as for where, I'm gonna send back a text suggesting my place, just because I know that would be a safe-ish spot to have the conversation that's gonna be had.
And she says, "Okay, but where is your place at?" Oh, and Adam, when I saw him, was at Meharry General Hospital.
So then lean back again. I guess like tilt my head back again because I imagine I'm like reclined like a little kid in the damn chair at Duncan. Be like, what was the hospital name again?
Meharry General
Meharry.
Hospital.
Okay, thank you. My brain went McHarry. I don't know why. Let go. And apparently she saw him at Meharry, but I think if I remember right, he's an EMT, so I don't know what that is. First off, but second off, I think it means he moves around, so he may not be there. Maybe. But and then text-wise, I'm gonna probably ask, and I would know my address because I've walked to and from there. I'm not that stupid. Just text her my address.
She sends back a smile, goes, "Okay, so tomorrow or later tonight? Like, when do you want to meet?"
We're not super late in the evening, right?
Correct. It's maybe 9 o'clock at this point.
Let's shoot for tomorrow night. And I'll text her if anything changes, if anything urgent comes up.
And she sends back a K and see you then.
And I feel like he wouldn't send anything back because he doesn't understand phone pleasantries. That needs a response.
Hey Jeff, can you look up this Adam McRippy and see where he's stationed out of?
Sure. I don't know whether or not the information is going to be available, but I can try. And I will do just that.
Okay.
Starting with the obvious with a Google search, just see what comes up for this name.
All right. this is where I get to pick on you a little bit.
Couple
So,
of Facebook posts, MySpace.
Maybe a couple of tweets. Yeah.
MySpace is dead, sir. Stop expecting that to be a thing. All right.
No, it's still there. It's just forgot about.
Bringing it back.
No. All right. Jeff, I want you to do an investigation and intelligence roll. Let's see how well you can scour the interwebs for this person.
There we go.
Fucking stellar. All right. So you spend about 20-30 minutes just kind of like digging through some stuff, trying to get, because Adam's a very generic name, but the McRippy is not so much. You end up finding quite a bit on this person. Not only do they run a rig for Meharry General Hospital, but they also deliver patients to another nearby hospital called Baptist, which is not even 4 blocks away from the Meharry. You also found out that his father is a honored member of the FBI by the name of William McRippy, long-standing field agent for the Memphis office. Adam is not married. From everything that you found on his social media, he enjoys plays, movies. He seems just in general like an all-around just good dude. Like, doesn't like the bar scene, doesn't promote drinking or drugs, attends a church by the name of Saint Mary of the Seven Sorrows, which is approximately 3 blocks away from your escape room. One of the pictures that you find is on his social media is of him and Richard Blackburn and Richard Blackburn's wife, and it appears to be a wedding photo.
Duncan, you seeing some of this stuff?
Oh yeah, Duncan's definitely like over your shoulder, like eyeballing everything.
This guy, I don't know what to make of him. It's like, on one hand, he seems like a nice guy, which often can be a cover for things, but on the other hand, he's very definitely close to our assassin.
When the words "nice guy" leaves Jeff's mouth, Henry's just gonna go bullshit real loud.
Is his last name spelled the same way as Duncan's?
Correct.
I think we need to go pay him a visit.
Do you want all of us to go, or just a couple?
We can all go. I think Henry wants to have a word with him. But I definitely need to have a word with him.
Oh, this is gonna go well. Okay.
So what is the plan on trying to find him?
Anybody want to call a hospital and see if he's on duty?
I can call.
Did you say you're going to call, sir?
Yeah.
I'm assuming with the searches that Dark did, he pulled up the hospital information, grabbed the phone number so you can see it.
Yeah, I'll bring up phone numbers for both of the hospitals, so that if he's not at one, we can try the other.
Okay. lady answers the phone call for Meharry's like reception, like their general call center area. Meharry Hospital, how can I help you?
I'm looking to see if Adam McMurphy is there today.
I'm sorry, who?
Adam McMurphy.
Is that a doctor, a nurse, orderly?
I'm not too sure. I just know that they work there.
He's an EMT.
An EMT.
Oh, the EMTs are out of a private company. We just contract them. We pay them for however many patients they bring in.
Is there any way I can get the phone number to the outsource?
Actually, let me transfer you to their dispatch. They're in the hospital. One of the dispatches in the hospital. I personally don't keep up with their personnel. So give me just a second. And they
Not a problem.
put you on hold and they transfer you to another person. A young man answers after about a minute on hold. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm looking for Adam McGrippy. I was told he was working in your department.
He's not on shift tonight. He should be on shift in, I think he's taking the AM hour, so he should be here somewhere around 3 a.m.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Should I give him a message? Let him know that you were looking for him?
No bother. I'll call
Duncan's
back.
gonna walk up and
Okay.
tell you to tell him his uncle's looking for him.
On second thought, I will leave a message with him.
Oh, okay. Let me
Just,
grab a pen and paste paper.
Yes, let him know his uncle's looking for him.
His uncle. Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. All right,
That's all I needed. Thank you.
no problem. Have a good night. All right, hangs up.
In my searching, did I happen to get a home address for him?
No, that has actually been kept private.
Okay.
And there is no photos showing the exterior of his home either. You get that, Alistair, in a text.
Jeff, I think I've got a lead on the van that took Alpha Team and Zero.
Okay, what are we looking at?
We're looking at a 2019 step van.
Dark, as a player playing as Jeff, I would like for you to actually Google that.
Okay. Oh, so we're talking like FBI SWAT van style thing.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna get interesting.
It kind of solidifies our theory that somebody had connections in the FBI.
Looking at some of these, it's also the same style of truck used by like FedEx. It's fairly commonly used just because it is basically a big boxy truck.
Is there a way to narrow search results to, I don't know, purchase records of a vehicle? Maybe even rentals.
Not through Google.
Your network right now and your connections for both of you, you would be very hard pressed to get that done without including the Glasswalkers.
Yeah.
Because Sir's network has been decimated and will need time to be rebuilt and get secure connections back to where you need them. And yours wasn't exactly there yet, Jeff, but you know that the Glasswalkers should.
Yep. I'm just kind of reluctant to ask for a favor from them so soon after they just saved my ass.
That's fair, but remember, Silver's already got you in contact with the person you need to handle this stuff with. So, as a reminder of how he handled Duncan's trying to get him involved into things, he won't be kindly to you pestering him specifically.
Oh, I know. Like I say, I'm just reluctant to ask them for a favor in general, whether, you know, through Silver or the Glass Focus, just because they just saved my ass, and then I come back to them going, "Hi, can you also do this for me?"
Don't know until you try.
Yeah, no, it feels hinky even to Jeff, but he'll do it anyway. So, he'll send them a message and just be on the along the lines of, "Hey, so Silver put us in touch. First of all, thank you for saving my network and saving my ass. With the loss of that network and, well, the disconnection of the network, we now have an issue accessing certain files and sets of records that we were once connected to. Is there any chance you could help us look for some purchase histories on vehicles?"
You get a message back. Wow, you're really bad at this security thing. Okay, first off, don't send that kind of question so straightforward over a text message. Second, you need to meet me somewhere tonight. Say 40 minutes from now. I'll send you an address.
Gotcha. Would be the response.
Got scolded by a wolf.
Yep. Just, yep, and just, okay. He's clearly better at it than I am. I'm just getting started, and he had to save my ass. I'm listening to my superior.
Fair enough. A little bit of time passes and you get a text message with just a name of a business.
Okay. Back to Google. Figure out where that business is located.
It is, oddly enough, right next door to the Underdog.
Huh. Okay.
Just a little no-named, like, electronic repair shop.
Okay, well, I will... I'll grab Sir and see if we can head out town.
Ready when you are.
Yep. I'm just wondering if Sir or Duncan's the better choice for this.
Why
Hey.
not both?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll be leaving Henry behind if you don't take him, though.
Big man, you want to come along?
So you guys think you got a choice. When you mentioned going to see Adam, like as that was mentioned before you called the hospital, he was already outside with his sledge. So I am just sitting out there waiting for all of you.
Look around. Where did Henry go?
Hang on here.
Does he know something we don't? He's just homing into him without us. Terminator style across the city.
Oh god, I couldn't imagine. All
I
right.
can.
So a little bit of time passes on y'all's travel. I'm assuming everybody is going. The kindred that guard the haven at night, you know, just kind of nod and do the whole, okay, we'll see you when you get back. And they shut doors and they stand outside in order to monitor. Sans one who is monitoring the closed circuit security. Y'all arrive at the little no-named electronics store. The lights are off, and there is a shadow standing against the building.
I'm gonna get out of our vehicle and just kind of give that shadow a bit of a nod.
Okay. They don't move. And you feel your phone vibrate or ping or movement with the ping. However you got it set right now.
And it's on vibrate. Okay, take a look at it.
Are you by yourself?
I'd have gotten out with them.
I'll respond with, got some friends with me, but they can stay here if you need them to.
No, it's fine. And the shadowy figure then comes out of the shadow. You're not quite sure where the hell the phone was, but out steps a 5 foot, 5 inch, about 135-pound young woman with a really nice, like 50s style double-breasted wool coat and cute little saddle shoes, like white and black saddle shoes, and opaque tights. Her hair is done up in a 40s, 50s style, and a pair of thick cat eyes rimmed glasses. And her hands are in her pocket, and she kind of steps out of the shadows and goes, "Jeff, right?"
Yeah, that's me. Nice to meet you.
Hi, my name is Rosa Ward. I'm the one that took care of your little situation. And she reaches out her hand towards you.
I'm gonna take a hand, and if by that you mean saving my ass, it is very appreciated.
Yeah, no problem. I've been seeing you back and forth, so when I noticed Kim didn't come back, I decided to keep a closer eye on you.
Honestly, that's fair. I wasn't expecting a logic bomb from within my own network. That took me by surprise.
Kim was good at what she did.
Yeah. It's why I wanted her involved.
I knew her when she was human.
Get you.
All right, let's go get a drink, and you can invite your friends in too. It's fine. They're used to our kind and the underdog.
Alright. I'll give the rest of them a nod so that they can head over, and we'll head inside.
Following?
She tucks her arm into yours, hooks her arm into yours, and walks side by side to you.
I'll open the door for her. Let her in first.
She goes in, waves at the bartender, and heads straight back to the room where you used to meet up with Kim. But instead of going over to the side Kim sat at, she goes over to the other side, which is a little bit darker and like kind of secluded. Enough room for everyone to sit. You notice the door guy did not stop you when you walked in with Rosa.
Did he happen to stop the rest of them behind me?
Nope.
Okay. I'm gonna take a look at where was at and be like, so were you here every time I met Kim, or just once or twice?
She just kind of looks up at the ceiling. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, somehow I didn't think you did.
So this is my stomping grounds. It was also Kim's. We were abnormalities within our own groups, obviously. my particular tribe is not liked nor hated amongst other tribes. We have our uses, just like your kind has uses.
Just like us, yeah. Yeah, there always seems to be one amongst all the creatures of the night. That there is one that is kind of the whipping boy for the rest of them.
Yeah, but they can't function without us. She looks over at Duncan, does a little nod. So, what is it that you're needing me to try to help with? I mean, besides getting, some servers situated and finding a safe location for said servers.
That's kind of on the back burner for now. That's more a personal project of mine that I'm trying to get sorted. Tonight is for the group as a whole. Some of our men were attacked. We know the kind of vehicle that was involved. We are trying to find private owners of that kind of vehicle.
Ah, okay. Easy.
Yeah, it's normally easy enough for me too, but kind of offline right now.
Nope, totally understandable. Give me a second. She elbows part of the seat cushion of the booth you guys are sitting in, and it opens up. And out drops a little cubby, and she reaches in and grabs a laptop out. Sits it on the table in front of you guys, and the top of it's just completely bombarded with stickers. And she opens it up, and she's like, "Oh, let me get comfortable." You hear a loud whisper from beside, not whisper, but like whistle from beside you. She's put her thumb and her pinky into her mouth and did a loud whistle with it. At that point, she uses her middle finger, pushes up her glasses, and proceeds to take off the overcoat. When she does that, it exposes an old 40s, 50s style dress, like a mint green color. And her arms are covered in tattoos from shoulder to wrist. At that point, you see the glint of a septum ring in her nose. Shortly after that, after she's booting up everything, a guy comes into the room and puts a drink down in front of her and then turns around and leaves without ever actually looking her in the eyes. And she starts doing her thing, very focused, occasionally taking a drink of her drink. And she's like, "Aha, okay, so I got this." All right, she kind of turns the laptop a little bit towards you. Okay, there's been a couple of sales of these recently in the last year for personal use. One of them was purchased by a hippie couple. Obviously, it's not them. I mean, they're the dirty kind of hippie.
I mean, you never know. But probably not.
No. They're probably in Utah somewhere at this point. Like, they have no residence, no nothing. It was purchased, and then they just kind of went off grid. So they probably turned it into a mobile home and just went on about their business. The other personal one was purchased in order to do kind of like a store as you go, kind of like buying the units and then selling the objects off on eBay and things like that. And it's been into a couple of service stations at this point just to get general maintenance done. But I don't suspect these people. These people look like literally they're just buying inventory and transporting it with this. Which leaves the other problem. Most common uses of this is FedEx, DHS, 2 delivery services, and the FBI have an entire fleet of them down in Memphis. There has, on a couple of security cameras throughout this area, has seen a couple of them, traffic cams and things of that nature. So they are around and have been within the last week. And then there is, what is it? The Tennessee Department of Transportation also has one that's in service, but it is a maintenance vehicle for diesels that become disabled on the side of the road.
Is there any way you can check if any of them have come in for serious maintenance, like full repairs, or like had to be scrapped? Because the vehicle these guys rammed into with this thing, it's just short of an armored tank. It would have done some damage back to them.
All right, let me take a peek. I don't think they're gonna particularly like me poking around in their business, but they'll get over it. And she shifts the laptop back towards her, and you start seeing the seal for the FBI and whatnot, and then a bunch of other little windows that she proceeds to work in. And she goes back into full focus mode. Are you guys discussing anything while she's working?
While you're in there, you mind looking up a William McRippy?
She stops for a second, kind of peeks over her laptop at you. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I just came across a maintenance log. There's a William Rippey that apparently checked one of their vehicles out from the Memphis and brought it up here about a week ago. How'd you know?
Call it a hunch.
Fair. Goes back to what she's doing. Starts closing windows and proceeds to back completely out of all the software, unplugs it, and closes the laptop for a minute. Sits back, kind of finishes drinking her drink, and then kind of shakes her head a little bit, opens the laptop back up, plugs it back in, obviously logging back in, and then pulls up a VPN login, and then sends you to your phone information. So she looks over at you, Jeff, and goes, okay, so this is a list of agents that have been mobilized into this area of the state from the Memphis area. William McRippey being the one that had initially signed the vehicle out to this area. It has not returned for any kind of repairs, but they have sent an internal email denoting that the ram bar needed to be replaced, but that could be put off for about a week, and that they would be bringing the vehicle back to Memphis in about a week to have that fixed.
So I'll pass the phone to Duncan and Sarah so that they can read up on it. While I thank our friend who I'm really beginning to like. Once again, thank you so much for this. I didn't feel too good asking you after you just saved my ass, but I'm out of options right now. I'm tired.
She kind of chuckles. She's like, I mean, to be fair, it's kind of a cute ass. I don't mind saving it. Kim thought the same thing, so we took a shine to you. But yeah, don't hesitate if you need any assistance while your network's down. And when you're ready to move forward with getting your servers up and running and looking for potential safe places for it to go, let me know and we'll get you sorted. Maybe you can pay it back sometime. And she kind of winks at you.
I would love to. And then I'll stand up and say, and for now, I think we shall leave you to enjoy the rest of your night.
Oh, are you kidding me? This is the highlight of it.
We should probably go and follow up on this.
Yeah, no problem. It's good to actually meet you in person. She puts her laptop back into the cubby, closes it up.
Thank you once again, and good night.
Good night. And she waves bye to everybody. Y'all behave yourselves. Don't cause too much of a ruckus. I hate cleaning up after people.
Or gives his creepy grin as he waves.
She just kind of keeps smiling but at that point she just kind of wrinkles her nose up like, oh my god.
Alright, so with the information we've got, we know who has it. We now need to kind of figure out where it is, unless that's in there as well.
That is not in there. You have just the information that she shared with you verbally. She just wrote it down to make sure you had it available in case things get a little crazy and you forget details.
So we still don't know whereabouts. And like
So as far as tech goes, she basically went as shallow into the FBI databases as she could in order to not raise suspicion. If she had dug into like operational files, such as what those operatives are doing, it would have raised flags.
Yeah. Basically just skimming the surface of things.
At this point, Emma, your movie is wrapping up. It was not what you thought it was. And as the credits start to roll, do you look at Haruto?
So Emma looks at Haruto with like giant saucer-sized eyes.
He is completely backed into the seat, and his eyes are just like fixated on the credits, like with the expression of what did I just watch?
This was not a plant movie. I have no words.
He just kind of shakes his head up and down. So, do you want to go back to your apartment now?
Maybe. Or we could go somewhere where there's people and not being alone. Yeah.
Okay. I think the museum's having an exhibit tonight. One of the clan is doing a showing. Would you want to go to that?
I don't know. That seems like an easy place to die.
Miss Emma, is there something I need to know?
I didn't know. Did you see the movie?
I don't.
Did you see the things that they were doing? We will not be repeating those things, okay? We are not dying. So, do we know of a place where like-minded folk like us go? Where there's people? Isn't there that bar? That place?
We can go to Una's.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to Una's. Let's leave. And he stands up and kind of like motions for you to pass by him.
Thanks. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And she'll just continue mumbling to herself until she's out of the theater.
Yeah, he's just kind of like walking in typical old man Japanese style. His hands are behind his back, and he's just kind of walking silently behind you. When you guys get to his vehicle, he, of course, opens the door for you and lets you get in first, and then goes around, and in his typical old man style, he drives very slow to Una's with classic music playing.
You know, can I just say, that was a terrifying movie. I've seen a lot of things. But that was crazy.
Not what I expected. It was very loud too. I think I definitely need a couple of Una's drinks. And
Yes.
as he puts it in park, he gets out, opens your door and lets you lead the way into Una's, which is bustling, by the way.
Okay. Good distraction.
Yes. And there's not much going on other than just normal pleasantry conversations. Una offers you the usual, special cocktail that her and Leon have come up with, which is a blood-infused wine so that you can actually stomach it.
Yup. Emma will take some of that.
Yeah, even
Not too much, mind you.
Even Haruto is like, yep, we're doing that. Okay, so how long are you wanting to stay there and just kind of visiting with Una and Leon and...
Probably not too long, but while we are there, I am gonna text the group, and ask them, what's been up? What have you found out? Anything new that I should know about? And then in all caps, that was not a planned movie.
Does anybody respond to her text?
I'll respond and basically give her the lowdown that we tried to track down Adam McRippy and ended up going through finding Rosa Ward and finding William Rippey and the truck and all that.
Okay.
All right. Good to know. Good to know. Text back. Where are you guys at now? What's the plan? Anything that I need to be involved in? Or ...
I'll text back and say, not necessarily, but we can pick you up if you need a ride.
At this current moment, they are maybe 8 minutes down the road from you.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Yeah, a good distraction would be good.
I'll just send a OTW and start turning the car around.
Did you let them know where you were?
Yeah. I probably just said at Una's. I'd call it a winery. Yeah. And then I'll look at Haruto. And every time I look at him, my brows will kind of furrow together. I don't know if I will ever get that movie out of my brain. I think about it every time I look at you.
That's not exactly what I want you to associate me to.
I don't. But that's what's happening right now. But you are good company. even if we watched a terrible movie together.
Well, maybe you'll let me make it up to you, and we will spend a day doing plant art. I have a couple of new specimens I would like to do illustrations of, so...
Ooh, that sounds like a good time. I would very much like that.
We'll plan that. I'm good with just sitting here and trying to process what I watched.
Yeah, I have some friends coming to pick me up.
That'll work. Besides, I need to talk to Yasmin and Abala about who's gonna talk to who and what we're gonna tell them from the meeting yesterday. So,
Yeah.
thank you for agreeing to a movie with me. I did have a good time despite how horrific that movie was.
Me too. Maybe if we go to a movie again next time, you should pick the movie. I don't think I'm very good at picking movies. This has happened to me before.
I will try to figure out something, maybe a little less graphic.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
All right. At that point, a couple of minutes pass if y'all just kind of sitting there like, huh? And Sir, you, Duncan, Jeff, I keep saying Joff, and Henry pull up to Una and Leon's place. It is very bustling.
I'm gonna wait in the car.
I'm going in.
I was just gonna text her and say we're outside.
I was just gonna send her a text.
So is Henry going in, or is Henry staying in the car too?
Oh, the car stopped. Henry got out and started walking in, and probably halfway to the door, turned around, saw no one behind him, kind of turned his head like a confused dog, then shrugged his shoulder and kept walking in to try and find Emma.
I can just see Henry now going, Emma! Emma! As you breach the little outside gates, you notice the sheer volume of people in the courtyard enjoying glasses of wine, conversation with an overhang awning with little stringed lights, white lights, kind of illuminating some of the people underneath it, and various waiters walking around with wine glasses. But you do not notice an Emma.
I do not spot the little artsy fartsy.
Mm-mm. You see lots of artsy fartsy people, just not that one.
Not that one. Well, I guess I'm going to proceed to start walking around table to table, just kind of looking at people. See if I can find Emma.
You proceed to do so, and making a lot of people very nervous. And as you're walking away from tables, hushed whispers of like, what was that about?
I'm assuming that as Henry gets closer and closer and Emma sees the commotion, she'll look over and go, Henry, what are you doing?
I was looking for you, Emma. We're here to pick you up.
Oh, thanks, but why are you... Never mind. It's fine. What a strange day. She'll turn back to Haruto. Thank you for this evening. I look forward to the next time we spend some time together.
He did not leave the underground meeting area to go outside with you.
Oh, I just assumed that Henry like came inside and was still doing the thing.
He probably never made it inside.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well then, never mind. Skip all that. Reverse.
Rewind.
So yeah, I'll just go with Henry and just lead the way. Strange man.
He's like a big
Okay.
puppy.
Yep.
Alright, so now that everybody is together in the vehicle, what is the tentative plan? Where are you guys heading at this point?
What time is it, roughly?
I'd say probably about 11 o'clock.
Do we want to venture over by the Prince and see if they've got any leads for us to follow?
Are they still? I thought they were still gone.
No, they texted to let us know they were back in town.
Oh, okay. We could.
Probably get a hold of Seneca too and see if he's got any leads on Calvin.
Yeah, I think it's been enough time, but I'm gonna go ahead and call Seneca on the way.
Okay. So you reach out to Seneca. He answers the phone. Hey, sir, what's up?
Just calling in to check on how our boy Calvin's doing.
He's not really doing anything. He's going about his business, meeting up with other Bruja to do security runs, just checking for, like, whenever we get word that there might be a Sabbat, we go and check it out. If it's nothing, then they just go on patrol. Basically, they get into vehicles or on their bikes or whatever, and they just go around town making sure there's no trouble breaking out. So he's a model Bruja, if there is such a thing.
You said it better than I could. Well, I guess just keep me updated then.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Hey,
You hear
let
Saranda in
me-
the background go, is that sir? Seneca's like,
That-
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
And Seneca's like, yeah. And she's like, you tell that dumb idiot hi for me. Make sure he's eating.
Tell her I'll make sure to stop by soon.
And Seneca kind of chuckles. Yeah, I think she misses you in her own way.
I'm sure. Hey, Seneca, let me run a few names by you real quick while I got you. I want to see if any ring any bells.
Yeah, go for it, man.
How about an Adam McRippy?
Nope, don't know that one.
How about a William Rippy?
Nope, don't know that one either.
Do you know a Richard Blackburn?
I think you asked me about him the other day. No, I don't know who that is.
I might have, just checking my bases again.
That's fair. That's fair.
Did I happen to ask you about a detective?
A detective.
Juana, I believe her name was.
I can't say I know any of the detectives in town. Most of the detectives that would have arrested me in my human life are long since dead.
Under the radar. It's the best way to do it. Well, that's all I got. Thank you for your time, Seneca.
Not a problem. You're one of us, so that's what I'm here for.
If you need anything.
Yes, sir. Sir. And he hangs up. Okay, y'all get to the church and park the vehicle. What do y'all do?
Get out and
Okay,
start heading towards.
Go visit with Sean.
Yeah.
Oh, Shawnee boy, we're here.
Okay.
I must picked up some social skills from a movie.
Oh boy. Y'all breach the front doors, and Sean is sitting at his normal table, and he looks up and he goes, "Oh, wow, it's been a few days. How are you guys doing?"
We've been better, but we've also probably been worse. Probably.
Feels
Maybe?
oddly vague, Jeff.
Yeah. It's been a vague few days.
Okay, do you want me to let them know you're here?
If you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely. He puts his hand up to his ear and whispers, as he's reaching over to get the box with the brooches in it, and proceeds to hand one to each of you. They're downstairs in their room, and they said just come on down.
C2 go downstairs.
I'll grab a brooch and then look at Sean. Go, Sean, do you like movies?
Yes, Miss Emma, I do.
Have you seen that movie that just came out? Very misleading title. You'd think it'd be about plants, but it's not. Something Harvest.
The Dark Harvest?
Yeah, that's the one.
I haven't seen it yet.
I would not recommend it. It is not about plants.
I will hold that in mind. Thank you for the
It's
heads
very
up.
scary, and it's. Whew,
He's-
it was an event.
He was kind of chuckling, and he's like, I didn't think it was a friendly movie when I saw the previews, but thanks for the heads up.
Previews? You mean like when you go see another movie and then you see them? Like when they advertise the movies? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. I watch a lot of YouTube, so I see quite a few ads and advertisements, so kind of already knew that was a scary movie.
Oh. Next time I think I need to do my research on a movie title instead of just... Yeah. I would not recommend. That's all I'm saying. And then she just walks through the door like mid-conversation.
He just shakes his head and sits back down with his cartoons. Y'all go into the main hall. And go through the double doors as you usually do on the right hand side to reach the stairs to go down into the prince's residence.
Are they just sitting there?
The door is closed.
Oh. I guess I'll knock.
You hear on the other side voice that sounds a lot like Victor's goes, "Come in."
I'll push open the door and walk in. And go, hello, hello.
You see Victor standing there with his tie completely undone and suspenders are flapped down along his legs, which is not a common look for him. And he motions to you all to sit. And as your eyes scan the room, you see Elizabeth in her usual position, seated next to the fire with a book in hand. And she just kind of peers around the corner of the chair, nods to you all, and then goes back to reading. You also hear in the background from what you believe to be their bedrooms, a lot of clamoring and ruckus, which you only assume is Liz. Victor takes a seat and goes, so y'all have a situation, is what Liz was telling me.
We do. I only know the rough details of things, but I know the gentlemen over here, they do know more. They can probably enlighten you with the names and things.
He nods. Who is willing to brief me on what is going on?
Elbow, sir.
I'll step forward and I'll kind of give him a nod and say, to recap on what we already know and what we found out tonight. My second in command, Zero, and my Fox Team Alpha are missing. It seems they were run off the road and kidnapped. No blood was left behind. After looking into it, we've come across several names that have led us to a William Rippey, who is possibly an FBI agent that was driving the truck that ran them off the road. It seems the people who are against us have ties to the FBI. As I was having my team run a search through the FBI database at the time.
He just nods his head. About that time, you notice Liz is standing in the doorway. The clamoring had stopped. And she's just listening and watching you intently. Victor motions for you to continue.
Out of game, haven't I know I talked to Liz before on the last session, but did I tell her who we thought was responsible?
Yes, you made the assertion that it might be SI. That was the causing factor, and she warned you to be careful.
Okay. Then I'll reiterate the same thing here and state it again and say that we believe it to be members of the Second Inquisition, and if I'm honest, I believe they're targeting me specifically.
Victor nods his head. That would actually make a lot of sense. So, throwing discretion out the window. You, sir, I have a suspicion I know how old you are and your roots. If that is the case, then that explains a very large chunk of what is happening right now. And at that point, Liz speaks up. They've got a boner for you, sir. And she walks over and plops down on the couch. You know, the church doesn't like it when their people get away, when they want them dead.
I don't really like it that they keep following me like a lost puppy.
I mean, they kind of are like lost puppies. They keep calling themselves sheep, don't they? Here nor there, we've got a major problem on our hands. They're being a little bit more outward than usual. So that means things are potentially going to get a little rowdy. So, what's the game plan? How do you wish to approach this? We will respect your wishes since it is you that they're hunting, it seems. Well, and Victor, apparently.
Really, I just would ask for guidance. I know what to do once things come to a head. It's just getting them there. We have a few leads, but nothing concrete, nothing really to follow at the moment. Our systems of communication and networking, both for myself and Jeff, have been screeching to a halt. So we don't have much to go on.
Okay. So sounds like investigation work, old school style. Problem is they've got technology and countless amount of people to do work day and night. So that's a bit of a hindrance on our end. Do you feel like where you're staying is pretty secure for during the daytime?
Secure enough to not have been attacked in the past few nights. Where Zero and Fox Team Alpha were picked up was not far, but not close either.
Okay. All right. So we are in that situation where you're safe for now. We need to make sure you stay that way. Okay. At this point, I think it might be advantageous for me to reach out to the Brujah clan and have them start posting up scouts in various places that can lead to y'all's haven, just to ensure that, or their own personnel. That's completely up to you, sir. But we definitely need to start getting eyes on the surrounding area to kind of keep an eye on the comings and goings. I'll reach out to Hendrik as well. The Nosferatu could potentially hack into local traffic cams and things of that nature and keep an eye out for potential CIA/FBI vehicles, and see if they're searching. That'll at least secure your safety for the time being. If you're willing to divulge that information to me for me to get that out there and start putting those things in place.
I am, yes, and I will. I do not want to pull too much from Seneca's pool. I will gladly offer some of my men up as well.
Okay. At that point, you hear the book shut that Elizabeth is holding. And she stands up, kind of addresses the entire room. If you are in the need of my wards to help secure your homestead, I have no problem, but I will have to physically go there to put those wards into place.
I would want nothing more.
So is that a yes to the wards or a no to the wards?
Yes.
She kind of looks at Jeff and nods and smirks a little bit. Tentatively, I will not have enough time tonight. I would like to come with you to do that tomorrow evening, if that would be okay.
Yes, at your earliest convenience.
She nods. That I think will work. Also, at this point, I would like for you guys to keep my sister on hand. She will be staying with you for the time being in order to ensure that if anything goes a little too hectic, you will have her at your disposal. I highly doubt anybody, let alone a human, will be able to handle her for any period of time.
I'll just have to test those boundaries then myself.
She is a Spitfire, so don't push yourself. You might come back with a few limbs missing.
I say wouldn't be the first, and I point to my eye patch.
She smiles. And this time it is a genuinely large smile. Well, at least none of it would be permanent. So, with that being said, pursue your lines of inquiry. I will reach out to the Nosferatu and the Bruja this evening and start getting those things in the work that Liz had mentioned. I will be by tomorrow to set up the wards. If you need, you can either leave the address with me now, you can leave it with Sean, or you can message Sean with it tomorrow at your convenience, however you wish to approach this. Or, and she holds out her arm, and a small rodent with a red ribbon around its neck appears on her forearm. You can take this fellow with you, and he will seek me out with that information when you are ready.
I reach my hand out and I take the rodent.
And he scampers up your arm, and then down your back, and then over to Duncan. He's a bit fond of Duncan.
When he gets on my shoulder, I'll start scratching the top of his head.
So if that concludes our business for the evening, I have some preparations to do in order to put those wards up tomorrow, and some phone calls to make.
Understand. Thank you for your time. I give her a nod, and before I turn around, I kind of look at Victor and kind of give him a nod, but my eyes are just saying sorry.
He stands to say goodbye to everybody, and he kind of cocks his head a little to the left, like he doesn't understand. Is something amiss, sir?
Victor, I wanted to apologize personally that I didn't mean to draw attention.
He nods.
And I apologize.
I don't take it as a personal affront. At any given time, one of us can pique the interest of the SI. Whether it be one of us kindred here in the city, or one of the guru in the city. It could be one of the witches that we don't know about. It could be anybody. The SI doesn't discriminate. They destroy all supernaturals. Don't take the burden on your shoulder as solely yours.
Understood. Thank you.
He nods. As you guys leave, the rodent continues to kind of go back between shoulders. Left shoulder, right shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder on Duncan. Kind of like it's playing with his ponytail.
Emma's gonna give the rodent and Duncan just a weird look.
As you guys go out the front door and hand back the brooches, the door opens up again behind you, and there appears Liz with her blade on her back and a small bag over one of her shoulders. She smiles at Sean and then looks over at you, Emma, skips towards you, hooks her arm into yours, and goes, "Sleepover, sleepover, oh my god, I haven't had one of these in forever."
At that, Emma's going to just give her a giant grin.
So where am I sitting? That vehicle is going to be really full.
No one's called shotgun yet.
Shotgun! She yells shotgun as loudly as she can.
Or gives
Emma
a
just-
sly smile as he gets into the driver's seat.
Emma's gonna giggle and just walk to the car.
Well, you still have no idea where to find Adam or his father.
Well, we can find Adam about 3 a.m. But that's getting close to daybreak.
Yeah, because that's getting a little close to us falling asleep outside, which is not going to be a good thing for us.
That would be the worst sleepover ever.
Liz just kind of chuckles and looks back at you, Emma, and nods her head yes, like, yeah.
So back to base we go.
Looks like it.
Hi ho, hi ho.
Okay, after about a 35-minute drive, you guys arrive back at the Coterie Haven, and the guards are just kind of doing their job, standing outside of the main doors.
Guess we enter.
Can you repeat that?
I said, I guess we get out of the car and enter.
Yep. And then Emma will take Liz on a tour.
All right. She hops out and follows you.
Before you see it, I think you should keep in mind that it probably needs a woman's touch.
She just kind of looks around and goes, "Where's one of those?" Oh, sorry, not you, Emma. She's a woman. She might be able to help you.
Emma just laughs hysterically. Not unless you want a lot of plants in here. I could decorate with plants. Would you like plants, sir?
More power to you, Emma.
Oh, I feel like that was a bad idea.
Emma now
Oop,
has the biggest grin on her face, loops her arm around Liz, and goes, "We're going plant shopping."
Oh boy. Not exactly my favorite thing, but let's go. I'm down.
It might actually benefit us to disguise this place as maybe like a mulch warehouse or something of the sort. Something plant related would probably do.
We're going to
I
end
got
up running
this.
a side business as a nursery. You know that, right?
All my dreams have come true. I got this. I'm ready to go.
Liz,
There's a job to do.
Liz is just cackling. So as you guys enter the building, Liz just kind of goes, "Whoa." And you guys escort her around, of course, show her the prison room, aka the bathroom, the little bunk rooms with the bunk beds in it for you guys to have a safe sleep, the little kitchenette area with the bagged blood in the refrigerator. Liz kind of wrinkles her nose at that. And then rest of the warehouse, especially the command center, she's just like, "Okay, so it's like really a bachelor's pad, like for real."
Yeah,
As I said,
it's a little
needs
Spartan.
needs a woman's touch.
Also, Liz, don't touch the big comfy chair.
Oh, why?
Henry might fight you for it. It is his chair. He has bonded with it. It is unexplainable, but just don't touch it. That's all I'm gonna say.
And Henry's just gonna look up and go, "Other people can sit in the chair. You just may have to sit on me."
Liz does the little tongue purr / like roll and goes at you and winks. Thank you, girl.
Henry's just gonna look confused.
Just
Granted,
starts,
I don't think that's a change in expression for Henry, but
just starts laughing. Oh man. Okay.
Emma may or may not have eye twitched there for a second.
She goes up to the cork board with all the notes and things like that. Just kind of observes it for a little bit. Her demeanor changes from playful to serious. And she addresses you, sir. Sir, is this what you guys are currently looking at?
It is, yes. Needs to be updated to some extent with the information we've gathered tonight, but yes.
Okay. Okay. This is good. This is good information. I see that you guys got more information about the spot here.
Yes, we're actually have tendrils out searching for someone with known Sabat ties at the moment, but he's not made any suspicious moves yet. We're still waiting on word.
Okay. Good information. Good to know. Okay. Moving on. She finds a table to sit on, crosses her legs up on it, pulls her sword out, and starts inspecting it.
Okay.
Just kind of looks up, looks at you, and goes, excuse me?
Nothing.
She just kind of grins at you like, did I just hear you right?
Just another attempt at trying to fit in.
There's some fitting in that might happen if you're not careful, sir.
Sir's face would be turning red if it could.
She just head back cackles. You know that could be taken two ways, sir.
I'm aware. He kind of just turns around and like rubs the back of his head.
And proceeds to laugh and goes back to investigating it.
In an attempt to save Sir from himself, I'm going to start printing out all of the new information we've got to apply to the corkboard. And just like make a very big show of being slightly noisy about it and obvious, and just to distract people from the conversation that Sir just failed to have.
Yeah, at that point, Liz redirects her attention over to Emma. So when I was on the phone call with Sir the other night, I was kind of using this. I want to make sure there's no chips or anything on it. So I'm a big sword nut.
Interesting.
I grew out of my want for swords.
What did you say, Emma?
I said, interesting.
She looks over at you, sir, and goes, oh, I never grew out of it. If anything, I grew into it. Originally, I enjoyed studying different martial combat, mostly with my hands, but became particularly fond of swords once I studied in India. Sabers are a little heavy for me, so I adapted to more the katana and rapiers and smaller blades.
We'll say they do come in handy, but if I carry a blade, it's a smaller one. A CQB, if you will.
Nothing wrong with that. It can be used delicately. She just kind of smirks.
See,
Don't think I've ever told you my particular art is my clan is martial combat.
I'm not familiar with much more of your clan, but I could gather.
We tend to be fixated on certain art. Everything's art if you really think about it. Architecture, it is the art of building and structural integrity and all of that amazing stuff. Botany is a type of art. Being able to crossbreed plants and coming up with new variations, more sustainable variations, that is an art form in its own right. Painting, sculpting, all the typical traditional ones. Mine just happened to happen at a time when my country was at war, and I took a strong fascination with swordplay and physical combat. And when I was embraced, that oddly enough became the art form in which I pursued. Granted, just about any kind of martial art can be, or combat can be used in a form of dance, basically. Because that's all combat is dancing, just more blood involved.
Yeah. Very much agree.
So when they say paint the town red, you take it literally.
Very much. The more spray, the more fun. Just saying.
The more artistic it is.
Granted, my art form isn't utilized nearly as often as it was back in the day, but, you know, still purposes. Interrogation and things of that nature.
Can't say that I can personally relate, but I can say that I saw it in my time. I was just usually on the other end of it.
Being interrogated?
You could say that.
That's a bit unfortunate. Unless you're into that thing.
Well,
Sometimes that's fun.
it was unfortunate for me until it wasn't. Then it was unfortunate for them.
Sometimes in a situation, getting out of being the one being tortured and doing the torture is best. Just depends on the situation. And how consensual it is. She kind of like makes a funny face where one eye is kind of squinted down and the other is like open. Mouth is kind of in a frumpy frown on her. She's thinking, but like also not too happy about the thought process. So enough about the macabre. What is the plan for the rest of the evening, guys?
I mean, currently,
Your papers are done printing, by the way, Dark.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see where they fit on the corkboard and pinning them up.
Emma, wanting to be involved, tears a small like corner out of her sketchbook on one of the pages and sticks it on the corkboard. And it's a flower.
there's a small flower next to your picture on the corkboard.
Yeah. Her contribution.
All right. The night kind of drags on. You all begin to just idle chatter. Any kind of like personal history you all wish to kind of share during the idle chatter? Because it's not too often that y'all get to sit with Liz.
You see me start to pace a little bit again as the night drags on, and you see me walk to the rosary and pick it up. And
I kind of meet in the middle of the room where everybody is, and I say, I guess I owe everyone an explanation. I said before that I was the reason the Second Inquisition was after me, and now that I've dragged you all into this, you deserve to know why if you're going to be involved. I was the Knight Templar.
Oh? Okay. Elaborate?
Does anyone know the history of the Knights of Templar?
Fictional history or real history?
Real history.
Not as much as I would like.
Well, during the 13th century, King Philip IV of France had accused the Templars of heresy. He persecuted everyone. He sent out letters to different portions of his army across the land and had them all open the letters on the same day. October 13th was a Friday, hence why we get our bad luck Friday the 13th. We ran as fast and as hard as we could from the French that damned us and sought to kill us. And the day that Jacques de Molay, the leader of the Templars, was arrested, I gave up on Christianity. But being that I miraculously got away, as I'm still standing before you, Second Inquisition didn't really like that too much. It seems throughout the centuries they've kept up with me.
So basically, they're salty that they sucked at their job.
Essentially. But theirs is a group that is just as old as my previous order.
So what kind of outcome are we looking for in this situation here? Taking down the entire order, or getting somewhere where they just leave you alone?
It's hard to say. Every time SI kind of made themselves present to me, I would do what I can to eliminate the threat and then move on. But it's been a long time since they've interacted with me. Long enough time for me to create a PMC. They've had to have known who I was for a lot longer than I would assume. So they're gearing up for something big. Between this and the threat of the Sabbat, I really don't know what their goal is here, so I really can't say what our goal should be. They seek out destruction of everything supernatural. Not just us, werewolves, anything that is not human. But I do not know whether or not they would go so far as to align themselves with something supernatural to eliminate something supernatural.
We need more information before we can decide what we want to do with them.
Okay. Interesting. It's a lot to think about.
Indeed. And I'm sorry I didn't say it sooner. If there's any other questions you might have for me, I will be honest and open. It's not very often I find myself in the position of feeling like I can freely share.
What's your name?
Robert. My name's Robert.
Well, thank you for sharing with us. We all have our pasts and things we would rather not think or talk about. So it is very much appreciated for you sharing.
Thor just kind of nods and he just kind of holds onto the rosary and kind of shoves it in his pocket, and he sits down in front of the board and starts going over the details more.
Liz walks up behind you and gently like pats you on the back. That took a lot. Thank you. Victor would be proud of you. She goes back to sitting on the table. So if no one else has anything they want to do as far as in character, we can go ahead and move forward to the next evening.
That works for me.
Works for me too.
Okay. Dark, you cool with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So, next evening begins. You hear the ruckus of the human guards outside yet again. For some reason, the humans seem to be a little bit more vibrant than the kindred guards. Liz has already popped up and has went out of the bunk room. As you all begin to open your eyes, you see her leaving the room.
Well, somebody's ready for the day. And I'll just put my head back on the pillow.
She's probably been awake a lot longer than any of us have.
I really wouldn't expect anything less.
Well, I guess up we get. Let's try and figure some things out today.
I don't wanna.
5 more minutes.
Do you know what'll make you feel better? Plants. Plant shopping makes everyone feel better.
Your phone pings with a reminder, Emma, that your class starts in an hour.
Ah! I forgot about this again. Good thing I set myself a reminder. Ah. I need a ride. I have a class to go to. Anyone want to drive me or arrange a ride for me?
I can ride with you.
That would be much appreciated. Thank you. The class starts in about an hour, so probably get something to eat and leave soon.
I'm ready whenever you are.
You guys are kind of filing out of the little bunk room. You notice that Liz is doing like morning stretches and weapon practice off to the side of the warehouse.
I'm gonna get myself something to eat.
I was about to say, given that it's been a couple of days since I ate, I'm probably going to head back to the escape room.
Could easily ride with them and have Sir drop you off on the way to taking Emma to her class.
Sounds good to me.
I'm gonna seek out Henry and ask him if he would like to tag along to the college.
I need to head back to my place. I got something going on tonight.
Okay.
Yay for round trips.
And I think I might actually just go hop on a bus to get some time to just think of how the hell I'm going to say all the stuff that I need to say versus a car with plant talk constantly.
There is nothing wrong with plant talk, okay?
There is when you're trying to fucking think.
What kind of thoughts does Henry even have, okay? Not a lot.
Lots of thoughts.
Just not all of them his.
And not about stupid plants.
Ooh.
Them be fighting words.
I mean, I'm bigger. I think I might win.
I'm bigger. You want me to hold him down, Emma?
I'm the biggest.
Nah, it's alright. It's
And
all
I'm
good.
here.
And I'm little. I'm just a wee little man.
I think Alistair's character, Sir, Duncan, and Henry are all 7-foot range. Like low end 7-foot range. So you're all about the same size.
Yeah, when they talk about standing on the shoulders of giants, they didn't mean it literally, but these are the bastards.
Yep.
Yeah, Henry is 6'8", Sir is 7 foot exact, and Duncan is 7 foot 1 inch.
Noticing the hubbub and the arguing between Emma and Henry of mental processes, Liz stops her practice and kind of walks over and just kind of is watching everything. Like a little kid, like back and forth, like a ping pong ball table.
You know, Henry, you may be stronger, but that doesn't mean that I would be fighting with physical strength.
What are you gonna do? Paint me to death?
You know what? If that's what you want to think, that's fine.
Silver.
I have things to go to.
Silver
and
pings
try.
Duncan.
Get the message.
It is an address and a time. It's a coffee shop about 3 blocks away from the police station that you guys are aware that Tawana works at. Or works out of. And the time is about 2 hours from now.
How long would you say it would take to get there from here?
From here, about 30 minutes.
I'm sticking around until Elizabeth shows up. she's supposed to be swinging by this place to put up wards.
Once somebody gives her the address.
I believe is the rodent that was going to give it to her.
Mm-hmm.
Which I write that down and attach it to my little friend and send him on his way.
Okay.
So who's all doing what?
I'm taking a bus.
Emma and I are driving down to her class.
And when I get dropped off at the escape room, first thing I'm doing is hunting for a meal.
Your employees greet you as you pass through.
Hey guys, I know it's been a couple of days. It's been rough. How's things been going here?
Your manager kind of comes around the counter and hands you a couple of envelopes, which is just like general mail, like electric bills, things like that. Says everything's been going good. The prison escape room, there was one of the bars at the jail door was broken, so they had to fix that, and just like updates on various prop issues. They noticed a glitch in the surveillance of the properties, like closed circuit stuff. They had a repair person come out yesterday and do some fixes. Your manager's like, yeah, and she was really pretty. She had these tattoos like all up her arms, and she had these really cute little like old school eyeglasses. Dude, like she was a little hottie, if I do say so myself. But yeah, that was about it. Is there anything you need us to do?
No, I think we're good. Thank you for letting me know. I will be upstairs if anybody needs me.
And he just kind of nods and he goes back to registering teams and assigning rooms to them. And you do successfully find someone to take a little sip of.
That's good, because I think I was about to start to dip into hunger.
Yeah, it had been a little bit since you ate. And now I'm going to introduce a mechanic that you guys have not really dealt with. The person you managed to get your hands on, you start, as the blood takes effect into your system, you start to feel a little flare of aggression in yourself. But just apparently the person you have decided to take a sip of is a little on the angry side or annoyed side. They're not having a good time.
Yeah, that's a little irritating now.
Really?
Now it is anyway. Before it was fine. Now it's irritating.
After dropping off Jeff, Sir, and Emma, y'all make your way to the campus. And like a dad dropping off his daughter to school, you drop her off at kind of a curbside.
Here you are. Don't talk to strangers.
Emma's just gonna chuckle and playfully say, "Okay, Dad. You gonna come pick me up after my class is over?"
I'll be here. Don't be late.
Okay, I won't make any friends. Gosh. And then, laughing, will slam the door shut and walk to their class.
I roll the windows down and yell behind her,
Keep that attitude up. We won't get ice cream after.
This makes some of the humans nearby just kind of like turn their head like, the fuck?
Well, they're gonna look even more because Emma is going to, like, belly laugh at that one.
Don't we look the same age as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Henry, how were you getting back to your home?
Bus.
Okay. That works.
Henry, a real good bus boy now. Not like person who clears tables, but someone who rides a bus.
Okay, so your bus ride kind of goes fairly smooth. I mean, you attract a little bit of attention as people are getting on the bus. They notice like how large you are, but like other than that, they kind of mind their own business.
I also just realized that I don't think I ever actually set a time with Amber, so I'll probably text her and find out when she can get here. Let her know that I'm at my place, just kind of waiting.
It is quickly approaching 30 minutes till your meeting time, Duncan. And Liz just kind of looks at it and goes, "Don't worry about it. I'll be here when she gets here. If you need to leave, go ahead."
I will excuse myself then, and I will start heading towards the meeting location.
Alistair, what do you do while everyone else is busy?
I'm gonna go see Seneca.
Okay. So I'm going to go from left to right. So we're going to do the Seneca visit, and then we're going to do the Tawana visit, and then we're going to do the Amber visit. So starting with Seneca, after you make your way over to Seneca's human homestead, when you pull up, you notice the same normal cars, so you assume it's Seneca and Sharonda's and Fox's vehicles that are in the driveway. And there's lights on in the house.
I step out of the vehicle and kind of take a cursory glance around, see if there's any foot traffic.
Roll me a perception. So that's going to be intelligence and awareness. All right.
Yeah.
You notice that young lady a couple of houses down, just kind of like sitting on the like the curbside. Looks like she's just like playing with some chalk and occasionally looking at her phone, and then like looking around, and then writing on the cement some more. You recognize her.
This was the same woman that was at the park, wasn't it?
No. But you do
Definitely
recognize her. Yeah, you do recognize her as one of the Bruja.
Okay.
She's several houses down.
I'm gonna just stay on the sidewalk for the moment, and I'm gonna call Seneca.
Okay. Phone rings. Picks up. "Hey, sir, what's up?"
Hey, can't help but notice you got some Bruja watching your house. Is that a mandated thing, or?
Ah, you're talking about Sybil. Yeah. She's just keeping an eye out to see who comes and goes in the general area. She's just a scout.
Gotcha. Well, I'm out front. I'm about to come to the door.
Cool. I'll get the door. Hangs up.
I hang up and I walk up to the door.
Yeah, about the time he gets the screen door open. He's like, "Come on in."
I walk in.
Sharonda is sitting at the table. Looks like she's messing with some kind of food. Green. And she's breaking them. And she just kind of glances up and goes, "There's my boy. Drinks are in the refrigerator if you need one."
Thanks, I'll pass tonight. Told you I wouldn't be long.
No joke. She bellows out, "Fox!" And you hear him kind of come down a set of stairs. Pops around the corner. "What?" And then he notices you and goes, "Oh, hey man, what's up?"
Just kind of give him a polite hello wave.
And he just kind of scoffs and like shakes his head. "Weirdo. Just weird." And he just kind of like mumbles and like moves over towards the living room and sits down on one of the couches.
Hey, who knows, Fox? Maybe you could learn something from being weird one day.
I don't know, dude. You're pretty unique. That's me being nice. And Seneca just kind of looks at him and clicks his tongue. "Fox, shut up. Dude, for real." He is your elder. You need to be nice. Fox is like, but fine.
No, Seneca, it's okay. But if you ever did want to whip him into shape, you know where to send him.
For sure. So, what do I owe the pleasure?
Well, I had some time to kill, and pun intended. I figured I'd stop by and just kind of get somewhat of a briefing on what's going on. I assume that you heard from the prince recently.
I did. So little update about the rat that you're having us follow. Not much of a rat. Seems like whatever association he has to them, it is very weak. He's got pretty strong bonds with the crew within our clan that he runs around with. He spends more time in their havens, sleeping over there, and moving around with them than he ever does with anyone else. I've even poked one of his normal crew people, and like, he don't even have a cell phone. But yeah, he's always with them. So I think the concern about him being Sabat might be a little bit unjust.
Yeah, I can't outright say he's Sabat, but you never know. People can be extremely careful, but at this juncture, would you say that it's likely for us to, I don't know, have a sit down with him?
I can arrange it. I think he's doing one of the rotations through Shelby Park right now. I can get with one of his buddies and let him know that I need them to swing by.
Yeah, tonight would be better. If not, we can move it to another date, whatever works better for you.
No, for sure. Yeah, let me go do that. And he steps into the kitchen and starts texting. And Sharonda looks at you and goes, "Honey, what you been up to?"
Oh, you know, same old, same old. BMC kind of demands most of the attention these days.
I mean, yeah, you're running a business. Like, yeah. Have you seen the
How about you?
puppies? Have you seen the puppies lately?
I have not.
Oh, God, they're getting so big. And she's like, come on. And she puts down what she's working on and she heads to the back door, which is mended but not aligned perfectly, so it's stuck a little bit. So she just kind of tugs a little bit harder and it pops open. And the pups start kind of whimpering and barking. And they have basically doubled in size since the last time you were there.
Growing like sprouts.
Yeah. And it's a breeding pair, so super excited for some more babies later on.
Got yourself some good ones there.
Mm-hmm. And she walks up to them and pets them a little bit. And the one that Emma had picked up during the night that things went haywire, she picks it up and it's like, yeah, he ain't been the same since Emma picked him up. It's like he misses her or something. I don't know. But
I wouldn't doubt it.
He's still happy. He just doesn't seem as happy, you know what I mean?
Hey, Sharonda, I have an idea.
Yeah, what's up?
Does that dog need a home?
No, he's home.
Okay. Well, if you're ever willing to give it up, let me know.
Oh, we ain't giving up these babies. They're already bonded, if you know what I mean.
Understandable.
But
It was just a thought.
give them a couple years. When they have their own litter, we'll talk. How's that sound?
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. And she puts him back down right as Seneca steps out the back door. So they're going to be here probably about 30-40 minutes. You willing to hang out with us until then?
Of course. It's been a while since we've had an opportunity to just sit and chat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right, so I will let them know that is a good time. He steps back in. Sharonda motions for you to go ahead and go back in as well. And you guys just kind of spend that time just basically discussing brouhaha business, where the common flares-ups are and all that other stuff. Mostly it's them talking, just because Seneca keeps getting pulled away with phone calls and updates and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna hop over while you wait to Duncan and his meeting with Tawana. So you pull up at the coffee shop. There is an opening where you can park and pay the meter to park there.
I'll pay the meter, park, and head into the coffee shop.
Okay. You notice Tawana standing near the counter with coffee in hand and a notebook.
Walk up. Detective Tawana, I take it?
She just kind of looks over and goes, "Yeah, are you who, Mr. Silver told me they wanted to have a discussion?"
Yeah, you mind? And I will motion towards the booth.
Yeah, she walks over and slides in, puts her notebook on the table and coffee, sits it down on a napkin. So what do you need to know?
Your former partner, Richard Blackburn. What do you know about him?
Good man. He was a great cop. I wish he would have taken his detective offer, but he insisted on staying a B cop. I don't work with him anymore, mind you.
Your tattoo you got there suggests something to me, and I wanted to know if you knew that he's a SI.
He's a what?
SI, Second Inquisition.
That was kind of a rhetorical question. No, actually, I didn't know. I wonder if that's a new development for him. Interesting. No, oddly enough, I didn't know that. And what do you mean, my tattoo? Do you recognize it?
I've got some ties that let me know certain things.
I see. She just kind of gets a serious look on her face and slides her sleeve over the tattoo where you can't see it. So, Mr. Silver, you obviously know he's a liaison. You smell like you're dead. There's something else with you, too. He doesn't typically arrange meetings for our kinds to meet, so what gives?
I'm an exception to the rules.
No one is exception to rules.
I am. Because I'm a liaison for sorts.
So let's forget the politics then. Let's get back to the matter at hand. Why does Blackburn pique your interest?
He's SI. Why would it not pique my interest?
There's a lot of humans that are SI. That doesn't answer my question.
He made a move in the open.
In the open?
Yeah, kind of trying to make a display of things.
I didn't hear about any incidences. Nothing outside of, like, typical gangbanger stuff. I mean, we help you guys cover some of that shit up when it's dealing with internal conflict between the Sabbat and the Camarilla. So I usually catch wind of that stuff pretty quick. But I haven't heard anything about human on kindred attacks. Where did this happen and when? She flipped open her notebook to a new page.
It happened a couple of nights ago over at the park during the play.
Shakespeare in the Park?
Yeah, that'd be the one.
I didn't hear anything about that. I'll have to look into that. See if anybody reported anything.
It looks like he's working with FBI on this.
How would he know the FBI? We don't deal with the Memphis branch unless something really, really bad is happening.
Looks like he may be friends to one of the sons of a higher up in there.
Can't say I know who that is. Richard could be pretty tight-lipped about things.
You hear of William McRippy in town?
No? Is that somebody I need to be keeping an eye out for?
Yeah, he's FBI, and his son seems to be tied with Richard.
Interesting. I'll do some more digging. See what I can find out. It's not like the FBI announces their presence to us unless they are directly interfering with one of our own investigations, or partaking in it, or working alongside us. So since they haven't announced their presence, it's either off the books or it has nothing to do with us at the current. I'll figure out what I can figure out, and I'll send message through Silver.
Oh, look into an Adam McRippy as well. That's his son. Those are the ties that bind them somehow. I need to know more about that.
Alright. Just be aware, going after humans without any evidence, you know that's not a good look.
I'm not going after them without evidence. I'm going after them for other reasons.
Well, if you want me to help you, you're gonna have to be a little bit more forefront than that. Because if I feel like even an inkling that you're going after humans without just reason, I'm not gonna assist you.
I think they're traitors to the Fianna.
She just kind of sits back in her seat, glares at you. Now, why would you think that they're traitors to one of the tribes?
Because McRippy is Fianna.
That's fucking obvious with the name. But why do you think that they're traitors to one of our tribes?
I'm gonna lean in real close and reveal my eye to her.
Her breathing gets real slow, and she just kind of stares at you as her face slowly morphs into like rage.
I will quell the beast on her. I had a feeling that was gonna happen, and I will burn a blood to add my blood potency to it.
Alright, let's get some rolls.
What's he supposed to be rolling?
He is attempting to keep the werewolf from, basically frenzying.
Oh yeah, no, I meant you just said let's get some rolls, and then it was like dead silent. Everyone just died.
Yeah, I was sitting there calculating because I had to add my blood potency to my animalism to my charisma versus her. Hold on.
It was just one of those things. I had to say something because it was way too quiet. I didn't know if your internet imploded.
No, you're good.
It's versus her stamina resolve.
I thought I had my cheat sheet out. Apparently I did not. Alright, so you barely quell it. You can still see kind of like the anger in her face, but she is not about to pounce over the table and beat the tar out of you. Through gritted teeth goes, "You're an abomination. How are you alive?"
I'm the liaison of sorts.
Does Silver know?
He's aware.
How has he not killed you?
He's aware of the circumstances.
So you're Fianna, that's how you know.
Was Fianna.
There's no was. You still have that blood in you. Don't be disrespectful. Fine. I'll look into it. Only because we get enough problems. We don't need one of our own turning against their own kind.
Especially when more are supposed to be arriving within the next couple of days.
More Fianna?
Correct.
I wasn't aware of it.
It's because I'm the one making the arrangements to let them come here.
So that's why Silver hasn't killed you. You protect your old kin?
I protect the pack.
The anger leaves her face and confusion fills the space. Why would one of your kind do that? I thought after you would become a leech that you would break ties and hide from your own.
I've looked after them for a long time. That won't change.
This is so strange. She grabs her notebook, finishes her coffee. I have to get back to work. I'll let Silver know anything I find out. You be careful who you show that to.
Only a select few.
And she stands up and leaves.
I'll give her a couple minutes before I get up and walk out as well.
Smart man. Alright, now we're gonna hop over to Henry.
Oh boy.
Your, once you reach home, I'm assuming you messaged Amber while you were en route.
Yeah.
Once you get to your home, 10-15 minutes maybe pass, and you hear a knock on your door of your abandoned storefront.
I'm just gonna go pull the door open without looking.
And a very startled Amber is staring at you. Henry? What, so many questions. Why are... And she just continually starts to ask a question, then stops, and then starts another question, then stops.
Oh boy. This may not go as well as I thought it was gonna go, but just come on in. Come take a stow.
She just kind of looks around.
Are both chairs still at the Haven, or did one make it back to my place? I don't remember what the decision was.
You never actually transported the other one, so they're both still there.
We were gonna put one at your place, and then we were gonna keep one at the Haven.
I think "were" being the key word.
Yeah.
Okay, so then yeah, it will go exactly like that. Go ahead and take a seat. Oh, shit! Right. I guess make yourself comfortable on the floor.
Just kind of looks around and grabs her cell phone out, turns on the camera, kind of like scans it across the empty space. One word escapes her lips finally. Housekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll stand.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's fine. You may want to... oh, fuck it. Let's just get... oh. So the reason I brought you here, there's a lot of things that I gotta tell you, because some stuff might be going on soon that could potentially be dangerous for you.
Her eyebrows shoot up and her eyes just kind of like light up a little bit. Okay. Light on me.
So you were wondering at dinner, what exactly I was. Well, what if I told you that vampires were real?
You know, the fact that I didn't feel a pulse and you've appeared in pictures in my family's albums going back hundreds of years. If I was not aware of those things, I would think you were crazy. But since I'm aware of those things, sure.
Okay. What if I told you that I'm not the only one that's here in Nashville?
Her lips kind of fold into her mouth and her eyes squint as she stares off into space, basically. Like she's calculating something. The odds of a species only having one is very low. So it would make sense. It would, I mean, theoretically it would make sense. Okay, so
So while I'm looking to protect you, there are a lot of others that don't so much care about, people and rules and all this other fun shit. And there's kind of a war that might be going on soon.
Like bombs going off? Like tanks? Like what are we talking about?
Not quite that showy, but potentially it could be as devastating. Basically, there's two big factions. We'll go with that. I'm part of one, which is the Camarilla. The other would be the Sabbat. They're the bad guys. And they're trying to reclaim the city, and we're kind of caught up in that. And I'm just a little concerned that my involvement in that could lead to you being discovered, and that could be problematic for both of us.
And she lifts up her cell phone with the light still on right into your face. Yeah? Okay. This is a lot of... Oh, shit, let me get that out of your face. And she aims it back towards the floor. And she's like, actually, let me turn that off. And she fusses with her phone for a second and looks back up at it and goes, that's a lot of process. Okay, so I need details. Like so many. So much. Okay, so for me to be safe, I am not supposed to interact with you, or is it too late?
That may be too late. I guess just, heed all the times that I've said, if anything strange at all happens, let me know immediately.
Okay. When you say strange, like, at this point, this is strange. I hope you know. So, in my world, strange doesn't really happen other than, like, a corpse twitching on an autopsy table. So, a walking, talking corpse that is actually standing in front of me, that's strange. So, you're gonna have to get a little bit more specific of what's strange in your world.
I mean, just go by strange in your world. I don't care. Call me, text me, whatever. I won't be bothered. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is there safe people? Like, is like, who's safe?
There are safe people. I would like to introduce you to them, but I've got to clear that with them first. That's not my decision to make, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay. Shit. Okay. This is a lot.
Yep. That's why I recommended a seat before you mentioned my floor being dirty, but
Oh, it's really dirty, Henry. It's gross.
Listen, I'm not here that often, okay?
That's fair. I would assume like bacteria, fungus, things like that don't really affect you and I guess your kind? What are you called? Surely you're not called vampires.
I mean, that's kind of it.
Okay. Do you sparkle in the sunlight? Can you go in the sunlight?
Not that kind, and no.
Okay. Gotta ask these questions. God. Real? You're fucking real?
I'm just gonna kind of reach out with my pointer finger and like poke her nose. Was that real? Did that feel real?
You're such a twerp. Yes, that was real. Smart ass. Okay. Wow, this is big. Just okay. So the fact that you haven't mauled me to death, or anyone in my family for that matter, I'm assuming there's some kind of like restrictions, or like, how do you not eat us?
Well, for me specifically, I use other things for food.
Things?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it used to be livestock back, in the day, and that got a little bit harder as, your family moved out of the country and whatnot. So I kind of switched to, I went to small animals for a little bit. Now it's mainly just like blood bags.
Oh,
So,
okay, so that's cool, actually. So you're kind of okay with eating not fresh blood.
some of us.
Okay. Okay. Well, at least now I don't have to worry about wearing like a big ass metal collar around my neck anymore. That's cool. Okay. This is very interesting. I definitely am going to need time to process this.
Yeah, absolutely. I just need one more thing from you.
Okay. What's up?
Just until I say otherwise, stay away from that Adam dude.
Oh, yeah. I just happened to run into him. Like, I met him at the theater and I ran into him and I just figured I'd say hi. I was just being nice. Like, not like I have his number. Yeah. He doesn't have mine.
That's fine. Just, if he starts trying to get close to you or doing anything like that, that would be one of those odd occurrences. Let me know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I will. I would trust you over some rando anyway. Like, you've been watching over my family for, like, literally decades. I would take your word on who's safe and not safe.
Okay, good. I'll try and keep you updated as much as I can, but there's certain things I obviously can't share, but...
No, you're good. Like, I don't know how all this works for your end. I will keep this to myself, obviously, because who the fuck would believe me? Honestly.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go by the liquor store and I am going to get me something nice and I am going to sit my ass in my dorm room and contemplate life or unlife or however that works.
Okay.
I'm gonna call a cab. I'm not gonna walk. Do you mind if I wait here for my cab?
Yeah, that's fine.
My Uber. Yeah. Okay. She could just kind of like pulls her phone back out and starts typing and opening an app and everything. And just kind of standing there. Do you observe her body language or anything?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's shaking.
Well, Henry's gonna kind of walk over, put an arm over her shoulder, or just give her a gentle squeeze, like a comforting, it'll be okay.
She just kind of like flinches when you initially do it, but not past that, and she just kind of looks up at you and smiles and chuckles because, yeah, it's a lot. I know I'm shaking. It's weird, but thank you.
No worries.
And about 5 minutes pass, and you hear a vehicle pull out up front, and she says, "Okay, well, that's my Uber. If I have questions, can I talk to you at any time? Not just when bad stuff happens?"
Yeah, I may or may not be able to answer.
Okay. Just open line of communication. I would like that.
Yep.
Okay. And she leaves and shuts the front door behind her as she gets into the vehicle. All right. So now we hop to Emma. We find you lost on campus.
I don't have a map?
You could pull it up on your phone of the campus.
I would like to do that, please.
And the email should have which building and room you're supposed to be heading to.
I will definitely do that. I do not want to be lost. Thank you.
Okay. You're a couple minutes walk from the building that you need. And upon reaching that building, you enter a well-lit classroom. Typical college style where it's like an auditorium almost. So it's got the seats going up, and there's several people there, not a massive amounts because it is a night class, and the teacher is at the front of it, down, like a level, and is at the blackboard writing on it when you reach the room.
All right, I'm gonna scan the room and kind of look at the people. I want to see if I notice anything weird about them, and I want to find an empty, like, corner/section of the room that I can sit in.
There's ample amount of seats. There's at tops maybe 10 people in the room, some sitting together, some not. As the professor continues to write, you see, welcome to GMO and crossbreeding. Professor Herbert Manning is written. And
Okay.
door opens and shuts one more time after you come in, and a young female walks in wearing mostly black with a nice shrug that has like a satin finish to it that is a really pretty purple sateen, and she takes a seat up maybe 5 seats down from you, to your side.
Okay.
And she just kind of looks over and just kind of nods and does a little smirk, and then looks at the board. And Manning turns around and addresses the class and goes, "I'm Professor Manning, and we're going to go over some basic class stuff, like what materials you'll need, which books you'll need, just so that you guys are ready to learn come next class. A little bit Q&A, introduce yourselves. That way I could do roll, and we'll set up, I'll write on the board my email so you can get a hold of me. Some of you guys may opt to do remote learning, which is fine." He points to a camera kind of set up off to the side, facing towards the board. You do have that option. I'll give you a handout of the login so that you guys can follow along remotely through the internet. If you guys are tech savvy, if you're not on campus or you're one of our adults, and kind of points at a couple of the people in the room that you could be here for the start of it, but couldn't be here for every class due to family. So we'll try to accommodate you all as best we can. And kind of grabs a pile of papers off his desk and walks over to the first person off to the left-hand side of the room and says, "Okay, here's some of the handouts. This is the books and some of the reading material that you guys will need to get in order to follow along." And he's kind of murmurs to the person that he's handing it to, "Just take one and pass them out." And goes back over to the board. Dialogue wise, he continues on, kind of introduces himself, what he's interested, how he got interested in it, and kind of a syllabus of what the class is about and what you'll be learning through the semester.
Emma's just going to write everything down, make sure to take note of the fact that she can do the class remotely, and we'll take the paper, whatever that has the instructions, knowing that she has some tech savvy people in her life that can help her out.
All right. So that kind of goes on without a hitch. Occasionally you notice a young man kind of sitting off a little bit to the left of you that occasionally will kind of look back at you and the girl that joined in with the purple shrug, and just kind of smiles and looks down at his desk, and then looks back at the professor and the handouts and so on and so forth. Goes on without a hitch. Class ends, and you're ready to head out. As you are heading out of the building, the young girl that was off to your side kind of walks past you and goes, "I love your hair," and keeps walking.
Emma's just going to kind of look confused, and then shrug, and then just keep walking.
You slowly make your way back to where Sir is supposed to be picking you up. We are going to jump back to Sir to fill in the gap. That class was about an hour, by the way. They did touch on like some of the basics while you were there, which most of the stuff you already kind of knew, which was, hey, these are plants. Hey, this is the basic understanding of what a GMO is and crossbreeding.
The class should be so grateful that Emma has learned manners around strangers.
Why?
It would just be a situation of, oh, I know the answers to everything. But she refrains from that.
I have learned. I don't want to be smacked again.
Exactly.
So, Sir, Calvin and his people show up, knock on Seneca's door, and Seneca greets them and lets them in.
As they come in, I stand and kind of hold out my hand to shake.
All right, and like you recognize all of them. You've seen them at the Elysium and meetings with the prince and stuff quite often. They usually all show up. This is Calvin. This is the one that you were looking for.
Calvin, nice to meet you. I'm Sir.
Yeah, I know who you are.
Ah, I see. How is that?
I mean, Prince told us to help you if you had any questions or you needed help with anything.
Ah, I guess there was that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming. I wanted to discuss a few things with you, Calvin.
Okay. What do you need?
We know that you have been in some slight contact with Sabat. I just wanted to kind of get your feelings on that and hear you out.
Okay. I'd be kind of dumb to outright lie to you about it, so I'm not going to. And he just kind of sheepishly looks at the floor and then looks over at Seneca and his group. I was actually made into a kindred by a Sabat member. I obviously don't really associate with them now. I was part of a group that was led by Diego. He's a bastard. He liked to poke fun and drive home the fact that I was literally turned, not because my sire cared about me, but because I am a shock troop. I am nothing more than fodder to fight the Camarilla. And pretty much everybody except for Bence and Kim treated me like that. And Kim's dead now, which I'm a little pissed about, but I get it. But yeah, I'm not Sabat. Not anymore. Haven't been for a while.
I appreciate your honesty. I didn't come here to dredge up your past or anything like that. I just wanted to confirm that what we already knew, and I would like to give you a chance to find a place within the Camarilla for you to be able to make yourself your own person.
I already have. I mean, I appreciate the offer, but and he kind of motions to the Brujahs that he showed up with. These are my people now. Like, they don't give me a hard way to go. Granted, I don't think they knew where I came from, so that opinion might have changed about me now. But I was here when the Camarilla took over the city. And immediately I was ordered to pretend to be Camarilla and integrate and to report on everything you guys were doing. And I met these guys and I just couldn't report on them. They welcomed me with open arms, didn't judge me. I mean, they give me shit, but that's what we do, right? But no, they didn't treat me like dog shit. I'm good. I got my people. I mean, you're technically my people, right? You're Bruja?
Or kind of gives a slight smirk and says, yeah, we're your people.
Then we're good. You need anything else from me?
Yes, I'd like to ask you a question.
Go for it.
What do you know of the Second Inquisition?
And you mean like legitimately?
Anything you know. Whatever you've heard, whatever you know for fact or false, anything.
They're basically the boogeyman, aren't they? Like hunters, human hunters?
Yes, that's an apt way to describe them.
Yeah, I mean, I've never run across one myself, but I've heard horror stories. At least they've been stories, though, passed down. Boogeymen. That's the way I can phrase it. They're just the boogeyman for our kind.
Yeah, well, I've been looking into them and trying to put fact behind fiction, and it's good to know that they really haven't shown themselves, I guess. Just remember, us being what we are, there's no need to be afraid of humans.
No, but definitely afraid of some of our own, that's for sure. And Diego is psychotic, by the way.
Yeah, we discovered as much. You wouldn't happen to know where Diego might have ran off to, would you?
Honestly, he's probably bunked up with Gabriel.
Who was Gabriel?
He's the priest of our particular small group. He's a La Sombra.
Do you know where he resides?
Not personally, no. He always came to wherever Diego was to perform any of the rites. His name is Gabriel Frazier, so maybe that might help.
It helps a lot, actually. Do you know anyone that might know Gabriel outside of Diego?
I was kind of kept out of the loop. I was the whipping boy, like, honestly. The only reason why I know about Gabriel is because he was our priest. He had to perform the rites for our particular group.
Understood. Well, we'll be looking out for Gabriel. You do as well, and if you hear anything, report to Seneca here, and he'll relay the info to me.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you for your time, Calvin.
Yeah. And he looks at his group kind of sheepishly. He's like, sorry, guys, you didn't know. And they were just like, dude, shut up, come on. And they all kind of get up and like kind of push him a little bit, but more like a play. Like, we've got rounds to do, come on. And he starts kind of chuckling and conversating with them as they head over to their vehicle.
As they leave, I kind of turn to Seneca and he says, I guess I don't need to tell you where to look now, huh?
Nope. I know which direction to head now. Boy, what has my clan gotten themselves into?
You could say that again, but I'll do my best to find out. I have to go pick up a friend. I'll call you. Catch up again sometime.
No problem, man. It's really good to see you. Sharonda pipes up. Don't be such a stranger.
You know I won't. I'm sure I'll be back again soon.
Yeah. Gotta
As
see
I
those
walk out the
puppies
door.
grow up.
I'll definitely will. And as I'm getting into my car, I'm going to text the group the name Gabriel Frazier. And underneath, I'll just say, could be hiding Diego.
All right.
And then I'm going to go pick up Emma.
Yep. So is everybody at this point converging onto the Haven, Coterie Haven?
Correct, for me at least.
Duncan needs to feed before he ventures back to the Haven.
Okay. Let me see if you find anybody that's tasty.
Emma will after she gives Sir shit for not getting her ice cream.
Huh?
Not that she can eat it, but that's beside the point.
Just for that, Sir is going to stop at an ice cream place and get a tub of ice cream, and he's actually going to eat it in front of you.
Wow. Just like a real dad.
I hold the tub out. You want some?
Should just give him a dirty look.
Guess not. Continues to eat.
I don't know. You say just like a real dad. I feel like a real dad would force you to eat it even though you can't. Like, you wanted it, now eat it, damn it.
You wanted to smoke that cigarette, boy, you better smoke that whole pack.
Yep. It's like my mom when I used to demand Trix yogurt even though I'm lactose intolerant and don't like yogurt.
You were not able to find anything that suits your personal eating habits. Do you want to shoot for something that does not fit that need? Because I don't think you have. Yeah, I don't think you have.
I can't eat animals, and I can't eat from a blood bag, so.
Oh, you are so screwed. Well, do you have prey exclusion?
No, I just have alley cat.
Okay. Yeah. Gonna have to try again in a few minutes. Okay. Everyone convenes sans Duncan, who is going to need to find food. Upon converging back onto the Haven, hang on. Jeff, are you going to make it back to the Haven, or what are you doing?
I'll probably make it back to the Haven, yeah.
Okay. On your way home, by the way, Dark, you get a text message from an unknown number with a smiley face that is blowing a kiss and a heart. And a follow-up text that says, "Enjoy the upgrade."
I wonder who that could be.
Upon reaching the Coterie Haven, you all see a vehicle leaving that is not one of your normal. It appears to be the one that you usually see Sean with.
Must be Elizabeth.
Y'all get parked, and as everybody kind of falls in or comes in, you don't notice anything different, but Liz is just kind of hanging out, chit-chatting with the current Kindred guard.
How did things go? We got set up yet, or were you waiting on us?
She's done. She just left.
It's kind of what I thought, but at the same time, you could have been waiting for us, and now there is something more important. It can happen.
Nah, she doesn't need you guys here in order to put up the wards. Gonna do another roll to see if Duncan finds food. And you do this time. And let's see what kind of blood you find. All right. You come across an individual as you are scouting the back alleys, trying to find somebody to feed off of. And you run across somebody who has been just kind of standing at the edge of a alleyway. And they look to be seriously in their feels. Potentially could have still been crying when you come upon them. How do you approach the kill? Or the drink, let me put it that way.
I'm not sure, because like the whole alley cat persuasion is like getting them, like I've got to hunt them down basically for the feeding, so like chasing them backwards into the alleyway is the route Duncan is gonna go.
Okay. So how do you go about attempting to scare them?
Like, how many people are around in this area?
There's not much. This is more like the kind of like the edge of the business district or legal district before you get into like the start of the party area or the touristy area of downtown, because it's not too far from the coffee shop that you met with Tawana.
You said they're crying. Are they like facing towards the street, or like are they trying to hide their face while crying?
They're facing towards the street, but they're not like talking to anybody or anything. They're just like they're in their feels. And they're just kind of like staring down towards like the touristy area.
Guess I'll go the mugger route and pretend like I'm dicking them up for whatever cash they have on them.
Okay. Let's get a performance check out of you. Make sure that you are able to successfully pull that off.
What do you want? Manipulation, intimidation.
Yes. Good on you. Okay, so you make yourself somewhat believable, and they kind of like step back and start kind of backing away from you with their hands up, going, I don't. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna reach into my pocket, my back pocket, my right hand side. Please don't hurt me. And they reach for their wallet and they fumble it, and it falls to the ground. And as it fumbles to the ground, they collapse onto their butt because they're terrified at this point that they're going to make you hurt them. And they start kind of like crab crawling backwards and please don't hurt me, please, I didn't mean to drop it, you can have it. And he just kind of like sits fully back on his butt and puts his arms up, kind of like blocking your face with his arms, and they're crossed over round about the wrist area, and he's looking down, but he's got his eyes tightly shut.
I'll scoop up the wallet, grab him by the wrist, pick him up and pin him to a wall, and take a bite.
Easily done with your strength. So with that, you regain what you need, and when he drops to the ground, he's kind of dazed, somewhat smiling, as being fed from leaves an euphoric sensation for most.
I'll lick the wound close, head to the car, and drive back to the Haven.
All right. And you get a flash of sentimental memories of your first hunt with your abilities back in Ireland.
Probably sit in the car before actually driving off, just in case it's a little too strong for him.
It's just a fleeting memory. I'm just like, oh, okay, just sentimental. Just, yeah, I remember that. All right. Once at the Haven, everyone else is already there. You guys hear a car pull up, and it is very obviously Duncan's GTO.
I kept dude's wallet, by the way.
Yeah, I kind of figured. At least it'll be believable he got mugged. All right, guys, so everybody's there. Liz is just kind of hanging out, chit-chatting still with the kindred guards. What are you all doing?
Is my rodent back?
No.
I'm gonna go up to Liz, look at her and go, I have a question for you.
Shoot.
My hair, is it nice? Somebody said I have nice hair, and I don't know if they were being serious or not.
Oh, your hair is pretty. It's a good color. I love the curls. Mine is straight as a board, as you can tell. It's pretty.
Okay. They just confused me.
Mine's prettier. As I scratch my bald head.
Liz chuckles.
You know, I would make a snarky comment here, but I'm still mad at you for the whole ice cream debacle.
Wait, what? Liz just kind of looks at both of you.
I might have teased her with ice cream. In fact, if you'll excuse me. And then I proceed to the bathroom to regurgitate.
Yep.
I'll go up to the bathroom door and just yell, "That's what you get!"
Tastes better the second time.
Liz is behind you all cracking up. And she looks at you, Emma, and goes, at least he can eat it.
Wow. Just wow.
What? I can't.
Doesn't mean you have to rub it in. You promised me ice cream because I wasn't gonna make any friends at the class, and then he ate it all in front of me. Rude. Just rude.
Maybe next time I'll get you some that you can actually have.
Is there such a thing?
I mean, blood freezes.
Be more of a slushy, really.
Ooh,
Blood-shaped ice.
I like this idea.
Italian blood ice.
Liz is just, again, chuckling to herself and just shaking her head. So, I hate to interrupt the shenanigans. What did everybody figure out today?
Oh, everything I sent was in a text. Basically, we've ruled that Calvin is not Sabat. He was born, or sired, from Sabat, rather. And, he really doesn't know much of the Second Inquisition. But what he did know was a lead to Diego,
Ooh.
a priest La Sombra named Gabriel Fraser. We've got Seneca and the rest of the brew hall looking out for him now.
Perfect. That's a good lead. And she kind of gets an evil grin across her face. I want my hands on that one.
Not if I get there first.
No, we're going to be pressing this motherfucker. I need to know more. If it's a priest, that means they know the hierarchy. That means I can get something out of them. By hook
I
or by
see.
crook.
So you don't want your hands on him, you want your blades on him.
Sometimes the hands work better than the blades. We'll see. We'll see what works. We can weasel in some information out of him and find out more of what's left in the city. We might be able to get this cleaned up. It's a very tasty prospect.
I call dibs on killing Diego if we ever get the chance.
She holds her hands up. After everything he's done to you guys, I ain't messed up with it. She kind of peers around and looking for somebody, and she spots Henry. Hey, big man. How was your night?
It was alright.
Man of so many words.
I think after saying that, Henry's gonna walk towards the refrigeration units and get a big boy juice box.
Ah. Looks around, spots Jeff. And you? How was your evening?
Oh no, Jeff down.
Enlightening. Okay. And then as Duncan comes into the door, and you, good sir, how was your night?
Eventful.
Do tell.
Moved some pieces and shirts and things. I've got someone looking into a couple issues for us.
You're about as forefront as Elizabeth is. Like, kind of closes her eyes and sighs.
Learned from the best.
I feel like you were probably already like this. Well, I don't know about you guys. It is late, and I am ready for a nap.
What time would you say it is in game?
I'd say it's probably about 1-ish with all the shenanigans.
So we got a couple more hours of night before daybreak.
Correct.
Hey, sir, can you call that company for the Adam McRippy again?
Sure, we might not be there until 3, though.
Yeah, that was yesterday. Try again today.
Okay. I'll open my phone, call the number back.
The reception for Meharry answers. Meharry Hospital, how can I help you?
I'm calling to speak with Adam McRippy. If you could pass me through to the EMT dispatch.
Oh, honey, do you need the number for them so you just call them directly?
Thought I was. I guess I had the wrong one. Yeah, let me get that number.
And she rattles it off to you. I'll patch you through, but if you're needing to get a hold of them a bit more regularly, it'd probably be easier just to call them directly. So here you go. Have a good
Thank you.
night.
You too.
Patches you through, a different person answers. How can I help you?
Yes, I'm calling to speak with Adam McRippy.
He's not in right now. May I take a message?
Can you tell me when he comes in?
I think he's off today. They're swapping his shift around. He should be working Tomorrow, I think the shift starts around 3 p.m. and goes until 3 a.m.
Okay, thank you. No need to leave a message. I think he's already got my last one.
Oh, okay. Cool. Have a good night. They
No
hang
problem.
up.
I guess tomorrow night he will be available at 3 a.m. is when he gets off.
All right, so we can get a hold of him tomorrow at some point.
Are you actually his uncle?
No, but we carry the same surname, so I have questions that need answered.
I see.
All right, guys. Unless there's any other pressing business that you guys want to discuss amongst the characters, I think we'll wrap up the evening. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with us. We are going to be back live on Twitch